Good evening, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today, I have for you Gundam Universe RX-78-2, the Gundam that Amuro Ray piloted during the Great One-Year War and UC Century 0079. So, I'm going to talk to you about this guy, and also show you some things that don't scale completely well with him, but scale decently well with him. So, to begin off, we're looking at his crazy accessories. Now, I know that some of you may have built a Gunpla. I know I have built a Gunpla of the RX-78-2 in my past, and I'm sure many of you have done the same, and there are a few things that the Gunpla had that this guy will not have, mainly because of, I guess, cost cutting or something. But we'll talk about those whenever we come across them. So first off, he does come with his laser rifle. As you see, he's got it positioned and beaming it all over the place. He also comes with a blast effect for the laser rifle, and another blast effect for his laser sword. So, not a lightsaber, a laser sword. There that is. He also comes with his shield, and that always appear. The RX-78 is known for its crazy awesome tower shield. That's a really amazing piece. It's got the right texturing in it. The yellow cross on the front is textured so that it pokes out exactly how it did in the Gunpla, which I really enjoy. I don't like it whenever it's just painted on. That's a cheap move. So remove the gun, and we'll talk about its posability. Now this guy's actually pretty posable for a 6-inch. He has good stance because of how wide his feet are and how big they are. Anyone who's built the Gunpla knows that this guy actually decently stands, so long as they don't make the backpack too heavy. They got to be careful about that weight distribution. But you can get with the joints. Now, this doesn't have the extending joint in the elbow that the Gunpla would have, but you can get it kind of positioned where it looks like he's drawing. But you can't get that full bend down ability where the arm would lay flat against the top, which is a little sad that that's only a single elbow unit. So you can't get that really cool scene of him pulling the saber from his back, but you can pull the saber out of the backpack, and you can attach it into his hand so he's gripping it, and the blast effect will double for the saber. So it's just that the saber doesn't like staying in the hand for whatever reason. In the Gunpla, you would of course get another hand that's better suited to hold the saber, which is a little sad that they didn't include. They included a couple of extra hands, but they're fists. So let's pull this out first so that we can attach the... There we go. It snaps into place pretty well, the thing. And something else about the sabers, they're not round, they're rectangular. Now, in the Gunplas I've built, they were always round, so it took me back a moment to realize that these are now rectangular and no longer round. And this hand does not hold the saber very well. You kind of gotta move it around in there until you get to a good position. But since you have the blast, if you plug the blast effect in, then it will sit there, and he can loosely grip it. That is a downside about the figure, but you got that. And of course, you've got his shield, which can unplug from his forearm, and also you can go and pull it out of his hand. Let's get it off. There we go. So the shield is its own little separate piece. It doesn't really attach there. It's got an attachment on the underside that is very similar to the attachment that you get in the Gunpla, except that this handle isn't on its own independent joint, which will allow it to move. Instead, this entire thing is kind of on a joint of its own and moves around like that. But you can't lay the handle flat against the inside of the tower shield. But you can, if I remember this, let's see. If I can find the position for it on the backpack, I think that's it. So you can plug this thing into the backpack, though. like you do in the show, I think. I may be missing the part that plugs in, or I may be not finding it, but it's still... There it is. Look at that. So you can plug the shield into his backpack, like he does in some episodes of the show, but it doesn't really hold on well, and it's constantly falling off. And it doesn't plug in as well as the Gunpla would. The other one of his sabers does come out of its socket too, and you get a second blast effect for it. Where's my blast effect? Oh, shield, get away. And that's not it. That's the... Oh, yeah, that is it. It was plugged into the to the gun. I totally forgot. All right. So, plug in the blast effect for the laser sword, and it doubles as the gun's blast effect as well. And we can plug that in right there. And there you have it. The Gundam holding two swords, which I don't think he ever actually did. It's a little annoying. He doesn't have the beam javelin. I would have loved to have seen a beam javelin. I always thought the beam javelin was kind of neat. It was Amuro's own unique design that he put into the Gundam later on in the series, and it actually worked out pretty well for them. So here's the green board of measurement, the Lego board of measurement, and the Lego board of measurement states that the Gundam, move your head around, little guy. All right, yeah, be staring at the camera. The Gundam, make sure I got that correct, is 17, 18, 19 studs tall. Now, he is not that tall, but maybe I'm doing it wrong because I need to stretch him out just a bit more. Let's double check that now that I have straightened his legs out. It may go up just by one. All right. Boom. And 17, 18, 19, 20. Nope, still 19. Okay, so he's just a little over 19 studs tall, and that's all right with me. Now, we'll talk about his posability. He's got pretty good posability. You can, I always do the one-legged test, and let's see. Just lean that over. There you go. Look at that one-legged test. He does pretty well. You can, you know, I don't know if you can actually remove the arms, which is kind of sad, but you can move this, and we'll just set this on his backpack again. These guys are kind of interesting because they plug into his little slot on the side of the backpack, and if you have played with the Gunpla before or built it, you understand where that slot is. It's located just a little to the side of the backpack. And where's your beam gun? Let's go ahead and, though I can't remove your arm or your head, which I'm a little sad by, because this was an iconic scene. And then you can just pick the gun up like that. There we go. Look at that. We'll just take you off. It would set you off to the side. There's that iconic scene from the show. Just subtract the head. Spoilers. This is from one of the last episodes of the original Gundam series when Amuro was fighting Char, and Char was in the Zeon, and Amuro was in the Gundam. It actually ended pretty well, and I enjoyed it a lot. For comparison, for the Gundam here, we have a tank, two different types of tanks. These are Micromasters from Transformers, and they are the closest I have found to something that adequately scales well with this new 6-inch line of Gundams. And there's many more of them. This is called Gundam Universe. I'm doing these specifically to, you know, to discuss about this stuff. Anyway, Micromasters are from Transformers, and they have Well, they were in the Siege and the Earthrise Transformers line. You can pick them up pretty cheap these days because they weren't that popular in Hasbro's opinion. And you get these two guys, which actually stretch out pretty well, and they do size or scale appropriately with the Gundam. The scaling is still an issue, but if you really want something to look at that scales well with your Gundam, then check out the Micromaster line from Transformers and see if you can get something that works well with each other. But anyway, guys, if I were to grade this guy, I have to say there's a few letdowns, but they've done well. They've done well. I am very happy with this figure. They could have made it so much worse, especially when you see the Transformers RID collection. And they didn't. They've managed to try their best to put everything in. Of course, there is no core fighter for the Gundam, which was kind of a letdown, but that's just one of the problems. It's not a bad problem. It's not a big problem. And simply put, if you want a core fighter, get buy the Gunpla and set it up for yourself. But until next Prime, I am Blind Prime, and you've been watching More Than Meets the Eye. I hope you have a wonderful day, and stay tuned till next time.